Welcome back everybody to 2020 LCK Summer Split Analyst Task. That was Hanwha Life versus SP game number 1. So what's your take on the draft? Well, I mean Iksu was very well known for Gragas master in the solo queue. So Gragas itself, based on its ability, his CC, the body slam has a really nice hitbox compared to other CCs of the other champions. So rather, he was trying to lane kingdom up against Wukong. He was just doing well, 50-50 during the laning phase, and he had a huge contribution in the later phase of the game. But the highlight was the R5 Zoe. Well, at first I didn't know why they locked in Zoe, but I have nothing to say since Mickey piloted it really well. But to be honest, if Hanwha Life had an actionless game, less accident happening, maybe Zoe had nothing to do, but well, that was not the case for the game number 1. So let's take a look at the early skirmish that happened around 8-minute mark. Lee Sin was already almost dead, but they were focusing on Gragas. But they weren't really that sharp, expecting or anticipating the length that Gragas can survive there, because it was a full tank build Gragas, and with that Drunken Rage activated, the damage reduction kind of allowed the SP players to actually pick Lee Sin first as a first blood. And in that kind of skirmish, actually Zoe is in such a leading position since she can pick up so many spells, and Gragas also had to survive and live for a long phase of a time, but SP players, they made it happen this time around. So with this fight, Zoe was actually able to accelerate its scale. And we had this huge victory for SeolHaeOne Prince over here. So I think, well, the three players were not on the same page. The jungler and bottom duo were a little bit split, making their decisions. So whether it was Aphelios or whether it was Lulu, they had to set a target and focus their skills on one champion. But well, Yuumi find her route onto Lulu, but Haru actually kicked Aphelios. So they weren't able to pick any of the kills on the two targets, and SeolHaeOne Prince was the one that was looking for the turnaround fight. Hybrid was actually shouting out to give it to me for the kill, but Mickey on Zoe stole it away. And let's check out the player of the game for game number 1. Mickey on Zoe. What a comeback. Zoe was literally popping off on the rift, and she had so much control all around the map. With the trouble bubble, Lee Sin had to escape from the battlefield, so easily SeolHaeOne Prince players were able to outnumber Hanwha Life players. Well, there was a little blunder from Mickey as well, but that was not that significant compared to other accidents that happened on the Hanwha Life side. Maybe this was the champion that kind of reflects the confidence level that Mickey has right now. Definitely, Mickey rolled 6 on his dice today. 9 votes out of 12, so Mickey won 75% of the votes. Definitely a promising performance today. So let's check out whether they can close out the series tonight.
Thank you, Ji-sun, as always, for the wonderful translation of the analyst desk there. Good to hear their thoughts on the play. It was pretty similar to ours. Not really the best team play from the side of Hanwha Life. Things fell apart early, so It looks like we're going to have some substitutions here, as Dudu is coming into the top lane. Real name, by the way, guys. It is, you know, it may make you think of Dududunga. Perhaps that's where the name came from.
Me think about.
Okay. Well, we all have different opinions of that, LS. As Cad is coming into the jungle to replace Haru.
I don't know how that name's allowed, actually.
You know,
By right.
I don't know either. But then we look over to the side of the LPL. They have PP God. So there are many players that have very interesting and borderline names. Okay. And in this case, I think he was. I hope he was going for Dudunga. Otherwise, I don't know what to say. But
right.
we're gonna get a chance, LS, to have one of these players in our league that have this kind of name, and we're going to have to respect it.
Okay, well, we'll see what he can manage to do. Cuvée had some nice plays in the previous game, but I think that maybe having someone in top lane that maybe isn't going to lose lane to Ixu would probably be a bit of a better idea.
Yeah.
But we'll see if Dudu
can
manage to do that.
Or to do that.
Ooh.
See what I,
you're making puns already.
Oh, boy. Couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
Well, SeolHaeOne Prince is on blue. Hanwha Life is on red. Curious to see how this will change the draft up. We did have a Lowy banned on blue, but can you ban it on red for Hanwha? That's a question.
Well, Set getting banned away by SD. Hanwha Life now have to decide what else they want to ban. It looks like it's going to be the Karma. And interestingly enough, I mean, last time SP, they let through Ezreal Yuumi. And the real icing on the cake here is for Hanwha Life to ban away something like Wukong, and then for SP to pick Aphelios first. No! They're going to ban Ezreal, and so now they might just lock in Aphelios for hybrid.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 180 carry that's really OP that's left available. That will be locked in. There's no chance of, like, we had a situation where there were 280 carries that were good, Ezreal and Aphelios, and Karma was first picked, but neither of those lines were available. Trundle, once again, seeing very high priority.
Yeah, for sure. And this is very interesting as, okay, Yuumi gonna be picked up again for Hanwha Life, and the Sinners are out in action here in this series. We had Lee Song in the previous game, and now we're gonna get Elise. Oh,
okay.
Yuumi Twitch. Sorry about this one, Crowny, but looks like Korea's going to be the first one to debut the Twitch. This champion has been getting picked up a lot in high MMR solo queue. Gumiyashi has played him quite a bit.
Gumiyashi?
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yashi? All right.
I don't know. Maybe he changed his name.
All right. Maybe I'm
I don't think so,
wrong.
but
anyways.
Same guy.
Twitch Yuumi is very, very gross as a combo, because when Twitch goes invisible, Yuumi goes invisible too. I'm not totally sure about the Penn and Teller magic trick there, but something happens. And, well, this is going to be nice to see. I'm a very, very big fan of Twitch. He's rising to power in the solo queue, mostly as an answer to Varus and Aphelios. So we were talking last game about some of the remaining hypers in League of Legends. Yuumi is one of the versus all true hypers that still exists, and so is Twitch. So This is pretty fun. They're trying to assemble the Infinity Gauntlet. Let's just ignore that Trundle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's got like his troll face on there. He's like, hey, I'm here too, guys.
Well, Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, coming to life here in the bot lane, and it's Viper Lehen. So what other duo to do it than those two? TF He's been banned on blue, you know, blue 4, blue 5 ban, if you will.
Yeah.
Pretty much every game today. I don't know. Yeah, every game except the second one in the first series. So either way, Yuumi is going to be picked. Or not Yuumi, Zoe.
Yeah. Zoe is picked up by Hanwha Life. And wow, okay.
We sent it today.
In is in full force on SP's team composition. They are all going in. So normally, Aphelios, one of the ways to beat him is to outrange him, or to just light him up and stand your ground. Twitch is able to do that in pretty spectacular fashion, but with Elise, Lulu, Kiana, everyone's just trying to go in. They're going to try to bring this all onto Hanwha Life and just collapse on and try to kill him. And, well, I guess Aatrox up in the top lane for Ixu is going to fit that bill.
That
now,
it will.
A pretty good champion for slowing down SP, morphing the terrain, providing coverage for Twitch and Zoe would have been Gangplank. Especially how potent he is against the Elise Aatrox combo. But instead, we're going to end up seeing a Wukong. And so the ultimate is very powerful against the hard engage by SP.
Yeah.
But Hanwha Life now, they're going to try to go the distance on Twitch Yuumi. And if they can reach late game, it's going to be really scary. They will solo carry the game.
Yeah, no question about that. I think that we're going to have to see Flawless at least get in their face early on, or some kind of way to get in their face and stop them in their tracks before it gets too out of hand. Now, Aphelios, Lulu, also pretty strong in their own right, but not quite the hyper carries that you're thinking of, as this is already, you see those first 3 picks and you see the center comp, Aatrox, Elise, Kiana, and then you got some scaling down on the bottom side with Aphelios and Lulu, so pretty interesting to see that coming through there. SeolHaeOne Prince definitely trying to get in their face quick in this game.
Well, let's see what Trundle is going to be able to do this game around, as he's just going to need to pretty much ensure that the early and mid transitions are all smooth sailing.
We'll see if they can make that happen, if they can get out on the open water and have that smooth sailing, or is it going to be denied here? SP up 1-0 after our first one. That was not the best Hanwha Life performance, so we'll have to see if they can actually, well, pause, as I hope it's not another Aphelios bug.
Is it another? I need to know. We are waiting to find out if it is yet another Aphelios bug.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind disabling him, you know. Catch my drift.
Yeah. Loud and clear.
It's apparently slated to get nerfed next patch.
Good.
According to Twitter.
I think that's the right decision to make. As, okay, we're getting a listen in. Apparently it's CAD had the wrong settings. And so they'll probably get a warning for that. Generally, if the players make the mistakes themselves and delay the broadcast or the game, they will receive a small warning.
I wonder what his Korean ID is actually pronounced as. Is it COD? Must be COD.
Could be. Could be Ked. Yeah, it is
Ked.
Ked. So it is CAD.
Ked. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll call him CAD.
Not me.
Or otherwise known as the Canadian dollar. I mean, that's
every time I look at it now, it's funny.
I know, that's what it is. Like, it's in all caps, too. Like,
we got some currency exchange going on inside of the jungle.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh,
no. Oh, the Canadian dollar here.
Yeah, that's him. Well, we'll have to see if his play does line up with NA, or maybe he can make his name here in Korea. He's playing the Trundle. A pretty safe pick to have your first game on, if I could say.
Well, this time they are going to be playing with the Ignite down in bottom again. And are they just going to go invisible level 1 and try to cheese?
Do it. Yes.
Ooh, here we go.
Can he find them? They're coming in a bit slow. It's about to run out.
And so not electing to actually do anything. And we got to pay pretty close attention to this lane, as it can get out of control really quickly, but then also the mid-game roams that can come out from Yuumi Twitch are also very scary because, again, remember, Yumi's invisible.
They both go invisible together. Now level 2 is going to be hit here first. But really, it's the Ignite and the ability to stealth in, and a bit of help and burst damage from the Yuumi that allows them to take early trades. But
this is a
okay.
Man.
That's one way to do it. The Cocoon is going to land, and Lava's going forward. Okay. Oh, nice bubble. And down on the bottom side, Secret actually took a hefty amount of damage himself, as Lava is just going to be able to get away from that crazy gank in the mid lane.
Yeah, Lava managing to live there is definitely very sad. Flawless. Looking to pick himself up a quick buck, maybe. Following Cad into the jungle. I just can't get over it.
Yeah.
It's great. It's actually just
That's his
great.
name. Named himself after the Canadian dollar. It's fantastic. It's definitely more unique than some other IDs we've had in past times.
And now at this point, Lava is just behind a lot in the CS department. Normally, Qiyana should not be this comfortable inside of a laning phase, and this is really scary. Because Qiyana, I mean, she's disappeared for so long for a reason. If you just play very well...
Oh, okay. Trying to burst down Lava here, but he's shown that he's not going to be taken out easily. He goes back in. That time around, as Ixu was coming up from the top side. First blood will be given to the side of SP, but it is traded back. Now a double kill going to be given over to the Trundle, who even forces the flash out of Ixu after all that. So Lava staying in, knew he was dead, but got that effective damage down to allow his team to get the advantageous trade.
Meanwhile, down here in bot lane, Viper and Lahen's doing a pretty good job, and here we go. The unholiness is definitely here. Mickey off the reset, just looking to do this roam, and Lahen's doesn't have exhaust or heal.
Yeah, oh boy. No flash here for Viper either. I think this guy might just go down. He's just desperately trying to run away, but that is going to be the end of him. Twitch bites the dust, and now we got Elise here on top of it as the Cocoon is going to land max range. In she goes. Oh, but he came up real quick there. Not quite enough damage to get down onto him.
Not executed as cleanly as they would have liked, but you got to see one of the powers of Aphelios is he actually has Ashe and Varus' ultimate available.
Yeah.
Whenever he has the purple gun.
Yeah. It's pretty nice, that route. I don't mind it at all.
200 years of, you know, machinery.
Of fun.
There. Yeah, fun.
Fun interaction, if you will. So, yeah, that allows them to pick up that kill. And now Cad is going to get to work here. He's trying to build up some money for himself and his team. He's going to pick up the Drake first one here, as we'll take another look at the bottom lane.
Well, take a look at the replay here. Secret just barely managed to live, And then this is the follow-up. And so Viper and Lehen, they just wanted to crash this last wave before recalling. And so it's a nice response by Mickey. And the thing here is that with Qiyana going back into mid lane, they could actually, you could maybe make an argument that they could actually track that Qiyana's been off the map too long, because the distance to mid lane is shorter than to other lanes. But that really requires you to be paying attention, but that's something that Lava would probably convey, because it would be his job to keep track of it.
Yeah, that was not really given over to them, that information for sure, so it's a little bit unfortunate. I think it's unfortunate that they weren't able to pick up the kill until Lehen's after that, because, you know, it seemed prime for the taking. It was 4-on-1 under the turret, but I suppose it was a little bit too early, and a lot of summoners were, once again, down on both sides, so it's part of the reason there, but... yeah, just not a huge lead to either side. The Drake goes the way of Hanwha Light, but a slight gold lead will go into the pockets of SeolHaeOne. And we're just going to sit back for now.
Yeah.
Again, the onus, you would say, should be on the side of SeolHaeOne to get ahead early.
And I think that the fact that the Qiyana is as big as she is very, very problematic.
Oh, boy.
Oh, well, went to sleep up the water spout, I guess.
Yeah. Down came the rain.
There's no, it's not.
Well, I mean, an ocean drake was taken, so.
That is true, actually.
Maybe that's what happened.
That is true.
I don't make the rules. I just
all right.
I just observe them. Flawless is spotted here, so they know to just back away, especially with priority in the bottom side going the way of SeolHaeOne.
And Lava has managed to catch up a bit in the CS department. Still going to end up being behind, though. That has to be remembered. We're not really talking about top lane a lot. I guess it's just really not interesting, as it's just Aatrox and Wukong sort of going at each other. The real focus is on mid and bot, because if Mickey ends up getting too far ahead on Qiyana, then Twitch and Yuumi just will never stabilize. And meanwhile, I mean, down in bottom, Viper and Lehens they're doing okay in the CS department. They're up 16, even though they did give over that one kill. Actually, they're, all right, I guess it's not quite 16, it's the minion wave. And yeah.
Up there. Gobbled up. Viper and Lehen's not gonna stop them. Mickey, he's Qiyana, he's okay. Nice little trade up in the top side, but the double knockup is over. Ixu down a level, still able to stand up to him and run seemingly the opposite way. And now Hybrid is taking much more aggressive trades down here, but look at where he is. He doesn't have his flash just yet. It's like 10 seconds away.
Oh!
He's gonna miss the Moonlight Vigil too. He should be going down here, even with Lulu's help, as they want to give that kill over to the Trundle, apparently. And now they get the root down onto Secret here, but again, they're not quite going to be able to dive that turret. So Hybrid getting super aggressive, but Cad in the perfect position to lock him down.
Yeah. And you can see what Mickey's trying to do. He's threatening Dudu up here in top lane as the Rift Herald's going to go and crash into the turret. Now, the problem is that they elected to do that onto the top turret, and this is actually going to provide a lot of safety for Hanwha Life in the later stages of the game. The Infernal Dragon's coming up, and if they wouldn't want to contest right now, they could actually use this lengthened top lane to freeze. It's not going to happen, but...
you should say it anyway.
All right.
Every game. Just, you know.
And hope.
So they know.
Yeah.
Because the one time it happens, you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
True. And, well, Hybrid is dead in this replay. Dead to rights. Not worth trying to do anything in order to get out of that. Secret able to hang on to all of his summoner spells here, knew that the opponents did not have enough damage to kill him. Infernal Dragon is live right now. Not totally sure why Ixu didn't just run to the Infernal, capture it and then threaten bot lane or just initiate a lane swap so that he could get right into what he ideally would want to be doing. Mickey takes quite a bit of damage there.
Yeah, not very proactive play out of Ixu. He's kind of just holding down his lane. I mean, he has TP, and he could have been more proactive around the map, but not quite going to go for that just yet. It's Mickey waiting in the side. He knows that there's going to be some focus on this objective, and they have some pretty nice pick potential. But Cat is actually quite tanky at 3-0. Already completed his jungle item here. So did Elise. But he's got a nice little bounty on him right now.
And up here in top, okay, we're gonna have a fight.
Yeah, Zoe and Cad coming on over here. It's a 3-on-1. This isn't very fair, as GLP is going to be quite nice to lock down Ixu. Kill will be given over to Dudu, who picks that one up.
You know, even though Dudu isn't even intentionally trying to freeze, this would actually be one of the consequences, or not consequences, this is one of the benefits of doing it, is if the opposing top laner has to walk up that far in order to come to the minion wave, well then you just rotate and kill them. Or the downside is that they have to drag their jungler along with them, like we actually saw in one of the previous games this week, to unlock the freeze for them, and it creates these mini neutrals around the map. And so now Viper and Lahens, I mean, they're walking around the map, they're looking for anything. They know about Mickey.
Oh, gonna flash in, but he gets stunned anyway, but that's gonna create a barrier here for Viper to try to get in there. Will pick off the kill, and Cat survives, man. This guy is all over the map right now. He's 100% kill participation, and I have to say, doing a better job than Haru in game number 1 for sure. Always seeming to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. And Hybrid, meanwhile, down here in bottom lane, just trying to farm up, trying to get value on the Aphelios. Now, if you remember the APK, well, the APK Spring Games, now SP, Hybrid would always come online in the later stages in order to dish out all the damage and carry his teammates. So, even though he's not popping off or doing anything yet, doesn't mean that he won't find something a little bit later. Mickey trying to live there, but Twitch's poison, a little bit too much for him to handle. Gold score is identical right now. However, the Infernal Dragon does mean that SP are a little bit more favored. However, when you factor in team compositions, the Twitch Yuumi cannot be understated.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting back and farming as much as they possibly can for now. It's really the only name of the game for them. If Hybrid's going to offer them free kills early on, then perhaps they will pick them up. They're not over-aggressive by any means, but still, they have that kind of submarine factor within them. Nobody's going to step up, so we'll just farm this one away, as Hanwha Life has come back now with a very slight lead. And it's actually Cloud Soul this time around. We had a lot of interesting souls so far today until this one.
And Cloud is definitely interesting for these two team compositions.
Oh boy, Subjugate comes in. They are committing. Ixu is so dead. He's surviving for a while, but not quite long enough, as you're not even safe under your turret against this kind of power that these three champions can bring in.
Yeah. And it just looks like Hanwha Life are just so comfortable right now. 2-1-1 on the Twitch, and you know, a lot of people, they like to talk about pressure and they often misuse the word. They only use it from the perspective that someone is attacking. Well, Twitch is building instead up to his 4, 5, 6 item mark, and that is a time bomb that is just going to explode. So,
oh boy, Lava from downtown needs the Yuumi heal. Summoner heal used as well.
Aphelios might have been born on December 11th, 1819, but Zoe, I've heard rumors, is definitely BC.
Oh,
BC,
wow.
yeah, so.
Impressive.
Truly is.
Yeah, we haven't seen many of them. As Nowcast is running in there, Flawless takes an incredible amount of damage, but look at the Kiana coming in from behind, as well as now Dudu trying to follow up here. Ixu not quite able to help out as much as the Wukong in this case, as Dudu doesn't seem to be done just yet, as now trying to turn it around. Ixu is just gonna dump him in the basket there, puts him into the grave. And okay, Ixu's like, yeah, I dare you to come forward, and immediately shuts down that Zoe.
Well, that was very unfortunate because what I was mentioning is that Hanwha Life, they should just be fine and content to just play ping pong with the side lanes, let opportunities arise, look for stealth kills as Twitch, and not actually handshake any team fights. This fight, unnecessary. You're running into Aphelios, you're pulling Twitch forward, he doesn't want to go, Yuumi doesn't have anything for her. Why on earth are you doing it? Rhetorical question. As Hanwha Life, there's no reason for them to do what they just did. And
oh boy.
If you take a look at the live cam though, they will get the Cloud Dragon.
Okay. Not half bad, but again, it's not amazing. Just one Cloud Dragon isn't really doing much for your team, but if they can get Cloud Soul, it's not bad. I think that pretty much everybody on their side, except Yuumi, I suppose, can benefit from the movement speed.
I understand that you think that the 10% ultimate difference is not a big deal, but
oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I think it's really good.
It is imperative.
Professional analyst's opinion.
Yeah.
Need that 10%, man.
You absolutely do.
How many seconds is that? Like so on a 60-second ultimate, it's 6 seconds.
Yeah. It's life or death. Absolutely.
But on a 90-second ultimate,
the only,
9 seconds.
Yeah, the times where Cloud Dragon are actually really good is on champions that have very big ultimates that don't get CDR early, or in instances where you're going to end up stacking it. So like the first one itself is not that big, because while Trundle has Subjugate, he's not casting it off cooldown. Wukong is not casting his ult off cooldown. Yuumi is not doing it off cooldown. Twitch, Zoe, well, Zoe's a little bit different, but
yeah,
obviously the other champions are not casting it immediately off cooldown. Now, if they were a Shen that doesn't get CDR items, well, his ultimate is massive. He can look to cast it off cooldown, but even still not really. But it does help give him a little bit of CDR on something.
Oh, here we go again. That's going to bait out a flash immediately for double ult coming out of the side of the bot lane for Viper and Lehends. But at least they do make that Aphelios a little bit less mobile and more vulnerable going into this mid-game.
You can see Mickey just trying to run around with the Umbral Glaive and the Duskblade of Drakthar. And things are looking pretty rough right now. Hanwha Life is going to just try to farm up. They have 2.5 minutes until the Cloud Dragon is going to come up. And at this point, you look at the items on all of the champions. Zoe still waiting on her Luden's Echo. There's no real reason to fight right now. Wukong just going to probably push out the top wave. Baron is coming up in 20 minutes. And they might, I mean, you see a lot of pings going down onto it, so they want to cheese it right now. And Eladios is trying to do it. They got it to half HP, but the blue trinket comes out. That's going to foil their plans. And now they've probably reminded Hanwha Life that, oh yes, that's actually a real thing. And so it'll probably be ever present in their minds for the next couple of minutes. And so it's very doubtful that SP would ever be able to actually go for a sneak of that nature again. But it was a nice attempt nonetheless. Twitch still waiting on his second core item completion. He's sharing the lane with Zoe though, which means that both of them aren't really getting the gold that they need to complete towards that item. Zoe might just go up to top and pick up the minion wave that Kiana just shoved in, as well as the golems. This is a part of the game where it really is quite beneficial to start freezing, because you create the mini neutral objectives and you ultimately bleed out your opponent. Zoe could have just taken that wave, escorted it all the way backwards, and stayed in front of the tier 3 turret, and the opponent can't just readily start the Baron because not only is it fresh in your mind, but you have means of running to it and getting there before they'd be able to complete it and then collapsing on them. And at this point, Cad is just looking for some vision. You can see the SP. They're trying to just control all of the red side jungle. Hybrid. Lost chapter, big knockup by Wukong. He's going to try to go in onto Lulu. Zoe able to get there as well. Secret running for his life in the backside though. Aatrox with Flawless. Going to bring down Lehens and Viper. Lava managing to get onto Mickey. He has a sliver of HP remaining. Who's going to win the joust? It will be Mickey. And now Flawless and Ixu, they are hunting down for Wukong. He's going to clone out of it. From the north though is Cad. Can he make it to the troll? Mickey's going to come over the edge with the blast cone, get onto Wukong and bring him down as well. And SP might have just found their way to getting Baron. And no, it seems like they're actually not interested in trying to do it, not without Hybrid present. And so they ping over to the Dragon. Flawless is going to run over there. We're going to take a look at the replay one more time. And now this transpires. Viper goes stealth with Yuumi. Casts the ultimate onto Aphelios. Dudu goes in as well. Hybrid goes down immediately. But Flawless and Ixu, 2-on-2 with Viper and Lehens. No one there to protect them. Really good ultimate. Locking up Lava, buying a lot of time for Mickey. And Lava trying to get onto him, has the flash available. He goes over the wall, but then loses the joust because Qiyana's a really cool champion. And this gave them the opportunity to turn right around, eventually dog down Dudu, because Ixu and Flawless just threatened way too much. Mickey came over the edge, got the kill. They allocate the gold to the Qiyana. And now coming back into live, they're trying to funnel all the gold into Viper. And at this point, the Cloud Dragon did go over to SP. You can see them, they're standing really far back because they're respecting the Twitch Yuumi. And even though we know, as the spectators, that Twitch and Yuumi just did the golems, SP haven't had any recent vision of them. So they can't really use any sort of deductive reasoning to guess where Twitch could be. And a fun little minigame, if you're a viewer, is just you can kind of look at the minimap and envision the champion radius and what each side are really seeing. Even though we have total vision, you can sort of guess what each side's respective fog of war looks like, and then think about both angles that both teams are thinking of. 4,000 gold advantage right now for SP. Morellonomicon completed for the Elise. That's really good because of Yumi's non-active healing. She doesn't have to be hitting you in order to be healing her teammates like a champion like Aatrox that has to be in combat in order to get his healing. And so reduces some of the options. Twitch now at the Runon's Hurricane with the Infinity Edge. He has 2 crit cloaks as well backing him up. Yuumi, very obnoxious as a champion, but not totally out of control yet. Lulu on the flip side, just with the Ardent Sensor for the Aphelios. But everything's really going to come down to Twitch at this point. The Zoe is not that frightening. No stacks on the Darksteel. Luden's Echo plus the Sork Pen boots means that she doesn't even really have an ability to one-shot anyone because Lulu's shields will actually invalidate some of the damage that Zoe is able to dish out. Flawless slowed a lot right now. Subjugate by Trundle. Qiyana ult ends up whiffing. And a lot of damage onto Ixu, knocks him into the team. Wukong ult comes out. And that's Aatrox just going to be falling right away. Flawless running for his life. Mickey gets locked up by the bubble. He's going to try to buy as much time as possible, but he is not long for this world. He's not going to be able to get out of it. And that's going to be Viper managing to take down the kill. They put a Spiderling to sleep. They're going to make their way quickly over to the Baron buff, and that is all but going to remove the gold advantage that SP had going for them. And this is where things start to get very problematic because Twitch's items from this point forward after the Baron buff dissipates, the amount of gold that they should end up getting means that Twitch's damage is going to be out of control, but also his utility is going to be completely unstoppable by SP, and it's going to really come down to a Miracle Qiyana ultimate. Flawless doesn't even probably think he can go for the steal, but he might! Aphelios! How many years? As He just lights up everyone and gets the Baron for SP. And just like that, Hanwha Live, their hopes and dreams might just have been removed from this game. As we take a look at how this fight transpired, the bubble onto Elise with the pillar coming out, subjugate there as well, ignite onto Flawless, everyone just trying to retreat. You see Ixu looking for a re-engage, but with where Mickey was and the Qiyana ultimate, there was never going to be one possible. He gets Blast Cone alley-ooped into the rest of Hanwha Live. Another really great bubble by Lava meant that they were able to put him to sleep and then eventually bring down Mickey. They made the right decision to go over to the Baron buff. He said, I'll get them all, I'll get them all, I'll get them all. He said, nice. He ends up dying. And I can't tell what the last word he was saying was. Maybe he said, honey? I can't tell if that was Kegur or... Yeah, I'm not totally sure. I'm not being told what he was saying. I apologize. As Cloud Dragon coming up in 20 seconds. And you can see Ixu just trying to act as the gatekeeper right now. Mickey on the right-hand side looking for an angle. He needs to find an ultimate onto Viper. That's going to be the only way they can bring Twitch down. And you can see Viper really looking for an angle, even though SP have a massive edge right now. This dragon isn't the soul. So it's going to bring it to soul point, but this means that Twitch is going to get one more song and a dance, and that might be all that he needs to really turn the game back in Hanwha Live's favor. And that's how scary of a combo Tom and Jerry really is, because they're two of the last remaining real hyper carries that exist in League of Legends' current state, where they can just take over a game 2v8. So it's going to still come down to it. 4,000 gold advantage right now for SP. You can see Aphelios is at 3 items, Twitch as well. He's making his way to the 4th. You see the Zanya's Hourglass coming out from Zoe, just wanting to get a little bit of utility so that she's not instantly popped by the Qiyana ultimate. Qiyana on the flip side, however, Edge of Night, Umbral Glaive still, just all the lethality items. Not sure what item Mickey will end up going next. Perhaps just picking up a stopwatch, because it's going to be a little difficult to come by a lot of resources at this stage of the game. And even if you could, you would probably want to ideally funnel it into Aphelios and Lulu and put all the eggs in that basket, because Qiyana's damage output not really going to be changing a whole bunch at this point. Atrox, you can see he just has the Black Cleaver, Death Stance. He's trying to make his way to the Sterix if he can end up getting it, but it's sort of the same problem where if you do have resources that you can allocate, you mostly want to be putting them into Aphelios so that he can get that Death Dance, hopefully prior to the Baron, and that's where SP's mindset is at. On the flip side, Twitch, you can see he's getting the BF Sword right now. Not totally sure if he'll just go into Essence Reaver or if he's going to end up going for the Guardian Angel just to make it that much more obnoxious. This is also at a point where Dudu is going to cast his clone. Didn't actually get locked up, and this is a really big deal. Mickey's ultimate going to go on cooldown. Does have the 20% CDR from the Cloud Dragon, CDR as well from the items. But at this point in time, Zanya's still a little bit away for Lava. It doesn't really change a whole lot, though. When you have Seeker's Arm Guard fully stacked in Fiendish Codex, you're not getting a very big bump in power when you do complete to the item. So even though he doesn't have Zanya's Hourglass in the inventory right now, it essentially is acting like it, given that he still has the stopwatch available. Viper and friends, they're going to start moving up into mid lane. You can see Flawless looking for a cocoon, managed to hit it, going to get the flash out of Lava, and that's a pretty big victory. This isn't a spellbook Zoe, it's one with Aerie. So she won't have that available now for the Baron. That's very scary. Mickey can look for that as an opportunity in an engage later. He doesn't need to just gun for Viper now, potentially, if he can lock him up. And it seems like right now there's just going to be a little bit of posturing. Lone Soldier no longer. Valdez, how are you doing?
Well, that was a bit of a long story you had to go on there, LS. I hope it wasn't too much for you to handle. But sorry about that, guys. I was all of a sudden feeling a little bit too sick, so I had to step away for a little bit. good news is I feel a bit better now, so I hope I can stay for the rest of the game at least. But I was watching while I was indisposed, so I at least know what was going on, and I'm not just out of the loop here. As looks like Aphelios still pretty good, but we're getting into the much later stages of the game now that we're past the 31-minute mark. We'll have to wait and see if Viper, Lahens essentially can carry by themselves. Very curious to see if they can do that there. Long story.
Well, 1 minute until the Cloud Dragon ends up coming up. And Wukong is not sure actually how far away he is as well from the Sterix, but at this point in time, it's just going to be the Baron dance that needs to unfold. And like I was mentioning just a second ago, is that Twitch and Yuumi can still just light you up. So even though Hybrid saved it with that Baron steal and the obliteration that ended up unfolding inside that pit, it's only managed to bring them to, oh, they're going to try it. And Aphelios, he shreds it so quickly.
They're not, okay, finally they're reacting to this. They're going to get, well, not quite, actually. They're not going to get on in there. This is just going to go totally unseen, essentially, by the side of Hanwha Life. Down goes the Baron. And now they say, well, we might as well try to avoid letting them get the Cloud Soul at the same time. As some fake pressure put on there in the mid lane, but now they should be going over to that Baron that's about to spawn. You can see they're waiting before that does come in. Blue Trinket is going to spot it. Now does SP try to stop them? Looks like the answer is no. You might want to put that damage chart away for now. I don't know if there's actually a fight starting here, although Dudu is running into the jungle and is being zoned away here by Mickey and Ixu, trying to stop the backs as the push is going on in the mid lane. And now Dudu is going to have to try to get on in there, get the double knockup with a nice stun around the wall. Can he get him? No. Stopwatch, a pretty good item. Oh, he might still be able to get it. One more auto wasn't enough. As, just barely not able to get in range there for that last auto. And down will go the Wukong, as did the inhibitor in the mid lane.
Well, the inhibitor being down, it is only the mid inhibitor. So the difference between the inhibitor being down versus the turret, not really a whole lot, because of this game timer, the death timers are so big. And in addition to that, whoever wins the fight will just win. That donut from the Qiyana ultimate ends up going golden, and mistiming the Q actually made it very scary for a second. But Aatrox managed to still get the kill. Guardian Angel finally completed there for Mickey on the Qiyana. Zanya's Hourglass even able to be picked up by the Elise. Not sure about that. I understand why he could want it. He's thinking, well, if I get hit by a Zoe bubble.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go. The Submarine is attacking. Now that Aatrox isn't the easiest guy to take out here, as they decide, okay, we're just going to back away. But in goes Ixu, trying to force it. He's going to trade flashes. And I mean,
he bought so much time.
Yeah, he bought so much time because the top lane push.
I think Mickey wants to.
Okay.
He stopped the recall!
Yeah, he delayed it even more. And there's two of them. There's
and he has
three over there. And Lava and Dudu, they're trying desperately to stop the push, but with the Baron.
Here comes Tom and Jerry.
They might not. Okay, they're going to get in there and do the damage. They take out the Lulu. But look at the damage that has been done to the base. This is just insane. There's no Nexus turrets now. With the open Nexus, Hybrid was thinking about it. You can see he's not quite going to get in there, though. As Viper, yes, he's on a killing spree, but now you don't really have much defense in your base.
Yeah, and this is the really scary part, is this is now smoke and mirrors. One small cat and her pet rat is really acting like the alternate ending to the Avengers here, as SP are trying to do everything that they can do to just avoid a fight head-on against them, because they will lose 10 out of 10 times in a straight-up team fight if they try to take Twitch and Yuumi on head-on at this point of the game. So, what they're trying to do is smoke and mirrors. They delayed the recall. Ixu sacrificed his life, not for ire, but it was enough, as Kiana also, remember, Mickey bought a lot of time canceling the recall, and that let them not only get the top tier 3 turret, but the inhibitor and the 2 Nexus turrets as well.
Yeah, it's insane building damage that they're doing right now. And there are a couple of wards there in the base. You'll see them. There's only the one TP, though, from Ixu. Nobody's got the Unsealed Spellbook or anything like that. But, you know, teleport plays aren't the only way to take advantage of this. We'll see what happens here around the Cloud Drake Soul points that both teams are on. It's going to be difficult for Hanwha Life to even leave their base at this point.
Well, it is very hard indeed. The Baron is going to come up in 1 minute and 20 seconds, and it should be SP getting that, but not before they get themselves the Cloud Soul, and that's going to be very scary. So, this is one of those very strange things. Ixu might just die. Final
Here we go again. He's pretty fast.
Okay.
And they say, well, what about this push in the side lane? And this is the second or third time this has happened now in a row. I mean, how many times are you going to be fooled?
I get it. Hatrox is he's a rat trap. That's,
yeah.
And the cheese is luring the cat too. Like, oh man.
Oh boy.
Well,
at least they were able to stop the inhibitor from going down. It's at half health though, and Haver's just going to literally walk up to it and auto it. In the face of 5 members, he is going to die to try to get this inhibitor. And it's still not down. That is 2 members now, as they're not going to get this inhibitor. And all 5 members are going to be wiped off the game. They say, okay, I mean, but there's a Baron up in 10 seconds.
I have no idea what the decision-making currently is in this game. Cloud Soul was up. You had 2 inhibitors down. You had the Nexus exposed. Honestly, the map looks very pretty when they do that, when they remove the front door. It looks like Belshire Beach, if you ever remember that. Yeah. It was a very pretty map. I would live on that map.
Wow.
Well,
it's a
Baron
from the past.
That really is. As Baron is going to be consumed here by Hanwha Life, and they're going to also get the Cloud Soul. So if there was ever a throw, it's definitely this one. Now, not to be outdone, Hanwha Life are going to find a way, though, to get back to it. So we take a look at what was happening, and Hybrid just went melee range. Mickey and Ixu were not able to be there yet. And just so much damage. The Viper never dies in this fight. And Zoe barely managed to get away there. The inhibitor didn't even go down. And oh man. Well,
that did not have to happen.
It did absolutely
They did not have to be that aggressive. It wasn't... I mean, you could say if they get double super minion in every lane, then they get a free Baron or something, but the risk he took to try to get that to happen was quite obviously going to cost their team some lives. So definitely, especially his, which is the most important one at this point in the game. 40 minutes just passed.
Yep.
And Viper is a...
He's online, and
look at this guy.
Yuumi as well at 2.5 items has the Potion of Death Sork Elixir in her back pocket as well. And you can see Dudu, they're just trying to play lane control. They don't want to get backdoor. That is the very scary threat right now. And the thing here is that Baron has 1 minute and 20 left, and Ixu, I mean, his teleport's almost up, so... And when I say almost, I mean in a couple of minutes. So when that is up, though, it creates very scary backdoor potential.
Yeah.
Where Elise could go without a ward, and he could teleport to a Spiderling. When she transforms, she doesn't even necessarily need a ward. Or, alternatively, Kiana swaps the trinket to yellow and hops into the base and then plants a ward and, you know, drags Elise along with her, and everyone just runs at the Nexus. Like, these are real options that are very scary.
Well, at least they have to take out an inhibitor first now.
Yes.
So it's not going to be as easy. And they certainly gave Hanwha Life a chance, right? They gave them a huge chance to just to hold on to this game with Cloud Soul now, with Baron buff coming on in. They pushed out all the lanes, finally.
Baron's about to dissipate, and it seems like SP are thinking that they might just want to actually fight Hanwha Life up head on. Oh, no!
Oh, that's Hybrid in the front. They're trying to assassinate him, and the range is way too big. Immediately, Lulu goes down, and Dudu is going to follow in and pick up the assassination kill. Make that a 5-on-3 immediately, essentially, as Aatrox's not going to be the one to do it. Neither is Kiana or Elise, and we should be going to a game number 3 as Hanwha Life are going to shut him down, end the late game with this Twitch, and pick up the Nexus and make this go the full distance. GG as the Nexus falls. Hanwha Life finally able to put something together with some new and fun picks.
Yeah, that was extremely, extremely clutch, what ended up happening in this game. So, I mean, the mind control at the bottom inhibitor is a very powerful feature.
Obviously.
So, you know, I mean, a little bit unfortunate there. The SP, they fought their way back so efficiently into the game. They got it to such a game-winning point, and then also they set the rat trap twice. It worked. It was super effective. Got them the exposed Nexus, got them the inhibitors, and then they threw it all away on the bottom inhibitor. So, very unfortunate right there, what ended up happening. And not much more to really say. I mean,
yeah.
Twitch and Yuumi did Twitch and Yuumi things at the end.
So, Yuumi is turning out to be quite the pick here for LaHens, who would have known. But the Twitch Yuumi combo together is really the highlight of that one. Coming back from that kind of a deficit, SeolHaeOne is definitely going to have to look themselves in the mirror and say, okay, well, we can't do that again. As I believe that's Dudu. New faces on the side of Hanwha Life. Is getting a lot of credit from his team, as the damage numbers quite even on the side of SeolHaeOne Prince, but it was all the Twitch show there for the side of Hanwha Life. I mean, It was like literally just this champion towards the end of the game.
So you're maybe not going to believe, who do you think I gave the MVP to?
Yuumi?
No. Didn't give it to you. Gave it to Trundle.
To LS for solo.
I gave it to Trundle, and the reason, I'll explain the reason after.
Okay.
Even if he doesn't win.
His early game was pretty smooth.
Without it, they lose. So,
pretty much, yeah. They would have gotten even farther behind. So guys, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, the final game of the night.